Hey guys, this is a video. I can't even remember the name of the channel. Let me see if I can find the channel name for you.
There's a lot more video. There's
Police
more body
tapes.
cam video. I mean, I took.
This video is showing a cartel terror pig who's got stripes in Florida. Some of the worst pigs are in Florida. North Carolina's full of them too. Cartel terror pig. He's in charge of a jail / prison. In this video, his supposed sergeant or his boss, whoever, has got video of him tackling and hitting a handcuffed man. Another video is tackling and hitting a handcuffed man and then beating that same man in a restraint chair. I counted 10 punches before his supervisor, the guy, the bald head guy in the very middle, before his supervisor shut the screen. He said, "Oh, there's a whole lot." I want you to listen to him, and you're going to see the culture of policing. Now, this is it. He's read this cop his rights. So this cop is they're trying to get this is an interview for prosecution, supposed prosecution. You can tell how serious these cops are about prosecuting. You're going to hear from the cop why it isn't that goddamn serious to them. And when you hear what I just heard is the reason I stopped this video. Listen very closely to what this cop says. Now, they've already reviewed the body camera footage of him beating an inmate, repeatedly punching a man in the belly, in the ribs, punching him at least 10 times. And then the other video was him tackling and handcuffing and threatening another handcuffed man. But listen to this and tell me what's wrong with law enforcement.
The time to review it all frame by frame.
Look, we'll start here. He's punching him right now. He's punching that man. It's a fat Mexican on the bottom corner. He's punching this handcuffed black man repeatedly in the stomach.
There's more video. There's a lot more video. There's more body cam video.
There's a lot more video. Now listen. Tell me, if you're under criminal investigation from law enforcement, more than likely they're not going to show you their proof. They're going to ask you what you have to say, and they're going to try to catch you lying without showing you the proof. So why does this cop, this terror pig who's assaulted men on tape that were restrained and handcuffed, why is he getting to see the evidence? Why are we letting him see the evidence? That's the number one thing you need to think of. Number two thing, the cop that's interviewing him has now closed the laptop and said, "Oh, well, we got a whole bunch more we don't want to show you." So it's like, what are you doing? This is Mickey Mouse bullshit. This is the Blue Line Gang in action protecting itself. But listen to what he says. This is the part that triggered me. Because I see cops beat innocent people every day of the year. I can get on my algorithm, and you cop suckers out there that never see it, it's because you've never triggered the algorithm. Once that algorithm has triggered to send you bad cops, it's every other video. There are hundreds of First Amendment auditors that get violated that I don't even like, so they don't show up in my feed. I'm telling you, there's thousands of videos every day that hit YouTube of cops abusing citizens. Listen to what this terror pig says. And this is the guy that's doing the investigation. Why is a guy in the same uniform as the criminal doing the investigation? It should have been turned over to another agency without... And here's the problem. Even if they turned it over to a non-biased agency, as long as they're wearing that uniform and a badge, the bias remains.
I mean, I took the time to review it all frame by frame. I had discussions with people. I had discussions with detective. Sometimes people deserve things. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got a job to do and stuff. But sometimes things are excessive.
Sometimes people deserve it. This is the man that's involved in this supposed criminal investigation looking at the perp, the cartel pig on the left. Sometimes people deserve to get beaten while they're handcuffed and restrained. Sometimes it gets excessive. One more time, listen to this. This is the culture of law enforcement. It's any kind of abuse, and every kind of abuse is permitted until the wrong eyes see it and it's brought to life. And these cops in the middle and to the right are there to help cover it up.
I had discussions with people. I had discussions with detective outfit. Sometimes people deserve things. Sometimes
they deserve it.
You got a job to do and stuff, but sometimes things are excessive. And sometimes we get hot-headed. We need to know when to step back and let somebody else take control because we're pissed off. Have you done verbal de-escalation training?
I think they...
Did you hear that? Sometimes we just get pissed off. Here's the problem. When you watch this for yourself, because I'll leave the link in the description, there were 3 to 5 other cops helping to restrain the victims. And not one of them said, stop, step away, go take a break, get off of him, do not hit him, don't abuse him, do not do this. Not one of those freaking terror pigs said no. They all went along with the beating. Sometimes this is what we gotta do. Sometimes it's excessive. This is the culture of policing today. And I've got another couple videos that I need to show you and show you how bad and how corrupt this blue line gang is that you don't seem to understand. But keep listening.
I haven't done like CIT or anything like that.
Yeah, well, de-escalation during, I know Ethan does that, talk to people, calm them down, talk them down, negotiate, talk.
Yeah,
talk.
So I think we just went over it like yesterday for, what's that thing, in-service.
For in-service, okay. And then,
so, when you beat people, they're Pedro, when you beat people, well, we're going to send you for counseling, Pedro. We want you to think, talk nicer as you're beating them. Make sure when you're beating someone, make sure say, stop resisting as I beat you. Stop resisting while you're handcuffed and I'm beating you. Stop resisting. Be nice, please. Do you guys understand what happens when a cop gets disciplined? This happens. They sit down and talk like they're talking to a 3rd grader who splashed water at the water fountain. Well, Pedro, that water fountain's made for drinking, and you were splashing it. I know your mom would be proud of you, but Pedro, you just can't get that water everywhere, so somebody's got to clean it up. Don't do that, Pedro. What were you thinking? This is considered discipline. Talking to these terror pigs is considered a disciplinary action. So let me get this straight. When you go out and speed, do you get a talking to? You need to slow down. We're going to send you to a class and we're going to talk about you slowing down. Heck no! They're going to take you to court. They're going to take your freaking money. They're going to hit your insurance company for 3, 4, 5, 6 freaking points. You're going to pay thousands of dollars. You'll be lucky if you get out without probation. Yeah, they'll put you in probation for a speeding ticket if you ain't careful. Every consequence in the world when you're not wearing that magical costume. But as long as you got that magical costume on, well, you should have de-escalated. You should have said, stop resisting. Please, you're hurting my fist as I beat you.
And the next thing is like I said, we have 4 incidents here. The very first, and then at one point you said it felt like he was lifting you. I looked at that video and I'll be honest with you, it's not that he was lifting you, it's that Smith was pulling the opposite direction.
4 instances of this guy abusing someone. Now, when you get that comfortable in your job that you can beat people 4 different times and he's not in handcuffs yet, he's still wearing the freaking uniform. How many times does he get when he's almost ready to kill somebody? Seriously, 4 times. How many times before this did he do it before the 4 times started? How many times? Because they just don't. Well, let me revise what I was getting ready to say. I was getting ready to say they just don't wake up violent, but psychopaths, and I'm dead serious when I use that language. I know exactly what I'm saying. Psychopaths look for jobs that have power, that have control over people. Psychopaths like being in charge, and they like using their authority. They like to hurt other people. And there's no job on the planet that exemplifies violence like law enforcement. So why is he being able to look at the evidence against him? Why is that? Why are we talking so nicely to him? Because any other time, you know what would have happened? If it were you or I, they would have went before the DA. The DA would have went before a judge and took out a freaking warrant. Or they would have had grand jury testimony already and then gotten the warrant and went and kicked his freaking front door in at 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning, scared his wife and kids, maybe shot his dog, drug him out of bed half naked. That is, if they didn't knock the freaking windows and doors down with a flashbang, and arrested him. But when you're law enforcement and you beat somebody that's restrained 4 separate times on tape, you get a nice little recliner. You get a sit-down talk, just as soft-spoken as we can be, and we show them the evidence against them. This is the double standard that you cop-sucking Badge Bunny, Blue Line Gang bootlickers don't seem to understand. I'll leave that link in the description. God, I hate them. Goodbye.